Welcome, everyone. Welcome to you, our virtual. They're laughing because we thought it had already started. Well, welcome to you. Welcome to you on this wonderful, sunny Pacific Northwest Halloween morning. And I have some gratitudes today, and they're going to be a little bit longer than normal. And actually, Jackie, would you bring me the vase and stand by me? This is Jackie, one of our practitioners. And my gratitude today is for all who have stepped into membership. It's not a requirement here at the center that you be a member, but the ones who have made that commitment have gone through an informational class, and they've made the decision to step in more fully, and so we're going to honor them. Because our membership class was offered on Zoom, some of our people are not here. They are in virtual land, so welcome to you who are there. And I'll be announcing their names. And if you're here, would you please come up? And we'd like to give you a flower. The flowers represent the blossoming that we hope our center will support in your own spiritual life. So Claudia Olsted, who was previously with Seattle. Gary Moore, come on up, Gary. Laura Hudgens, who was previously with Santa Rosa. I don't know if Laura's here. Lynn Russell, I saw Lynn here today. Yay. Michael Tatlock and his husband Tim Poe, and I believe they're in LA. They are from the Burbank Center previously. Patty Rosbrook, who is here usually, but they just moved, and she needed to stay home with her pretty freaked out dogs. And her wife, Zena Kacha, who happens to be here as well. Welcome, Zena. Yay. Thank you, all of you. I know some of you are listening from home. Thank you for being part of the center. I think the reason we're such a warm and welcoming group is because we love people. And we love you. So yay, thank you. And now, we'll hand it over.
All right, well, we're going to sing into this day together, staying on spirit. 1, 2. I woke up this morning with my mind staying on spirit. I woke up this morning with my mind staying on spirit. I woke up this morning with my mind staying on spirit. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Walking and talking with my mind staying on spirit. Oh yeah, walking and talking with my mind staying a minute to greet your neighbors, or if you're out in social media and on the internet, let us know where you're from.
So many new members. Crazy.
All right, ready to click us on?
Yeah. You ready?
Yep. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. 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 My soul is welcome here.
Thank you. You guys just are wonderful. Outstanding. Welcome indeed on this beautiful, sparkly Halloween morning. As we come together to learn, to know and accept the feeling of welcome, whether in this sanctuary together or about our normal days, we are loved. We are perfect as we are. And that, in fact, is our heritage as the one that animates and powers everything, is deeply loving. What a wonderful philosophy to share, and how lovely to see you all bask in acceptance and your power. And so it is.
And so it is.
Still waters, oh my soul. Still these waters, so I may know. Still waters, let me be pure reflection of love, healing peace. Still waters, oh my soul. Still these waters, so I may know. Still waters, let me be pure reflection of love, healing peace. Still waters quiet my mind. Still these waters so I may find. Still waters reminding me I am love, I am light. Healing peace, I am love, I am light. Healing peace. So sacred, so secret, so precious, this love. So sacred, so secret, so precious, this love. Sing so sacred, so sacred, so secret, so precious, this love. So sacred, so secret, so precious, this love. I will share, 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 this love. So sacred, so secret, so precious, this love. So sacred, so secret, so precious, this love. I will share, 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 this love. So sacred, so secret, so precious, this love. So sacred, so secret, so precious, this love.
Thank you. Thank you very much. That song is based on a poem by Rumi. Well, it's one of my favorites, so thanks for singing it. Welcome again, everybody. Today's topic is liminal limbo. And I have just had so much fun in my mind with that topic. You know, everything from limbo, limbo, limbo like me, right? But that's not the kind of limbo. Although we could after. So really what it is about this time of year that in the Northern Hemisphere in traditional times, long ago, far away, this was a time of year that was dedicated to ambiguity. And what I mean by that is that this is the time of year that the ancient people believed was when the veil between the two worlds was the thinnest. And so that's how actually our understanding of spirits and ghosts and things like that actually evolved, was this understanding that with the two worlds, the world of those who had passed on and the world of the living, when the two worlds, that veil was very thin, you could actually invite your ancestors to come, and they would come as close as they could to be with you in this time. And it was a very brief period of time. And it's based also on the understanding that, there's the autumn equinox and the winter solstice, and right in the middle is this time. So it's called a cross-quarter day. So it's a really auspicious day that you chose to be here. And so I hope you have a very auspicious time in this day. What I wanted to speak about from a spiritual perspective was what this time really can be for us on a spiritual path, which is, as always, we have the opportunity to look at our lives and see if we are poised on a threshold of moving into something else. And that's that ambiguity part. In this time, the ancients were aware that it was a time also of shift, and that people that had been moving in their lives toward a particular change, this would be the time when a shift would happen, sometimes voluntarily, sometimes not. And I bet that's happened in your life too, sometimes voluntarily and sometimes not. So I brought you my favorite Celt, John O'Donohue, and he has a thing or two to say about thresholds. So he says, looking back along a life's journey, you come to see how each of the central phases of your life began at a decisive threshold. Think about that. Where you left one way of being and entered another. A threshold is not simply an accidental line that happens to separate one region from another. It is an intense frontier that divides a world of feeling from another. Often, a threshold only becomes clearly visible once you have crossed it. And crossing can often mean the total loss of all you enjoyed while on the other side. So it becomes a kind of dividing line between the past and the future. And more often than not, the reason you cannot return to where you were is that you have changed. You are no longer the one who crossed over. It is interesting that when Jesus cured the blind man, he instructed him not to go back into the village. Having crossed the threshold into vision, his life was no longer to be lived in the constricted mode of blindness. New vision means new pastures. So originally, threshold meant the word thresh. So thresh was the separation from the grain from the husk, or straw when oats were being threshed. They would be separated. It also includes the notion of entrance, crossing, border, and beginning. And so to cross a threshold is to leave behind the husks and arrive at the grain. So for me, that definition of threshold, and looking at how, when, I don't know if any of you are really on a threshold, but let's say that you're really aware that change has to happen in some regard. Maybe it's an internal change, maybe it's an external one, and you're not quite there yet, but you can see it coming. So threshold is that gateway that when we're aware of it, we can actually consciously utilize the energy of crossing over to understand and work with the energies that are going to kind of carry us through, and also appreciate the fact that once we have crossed over, there's no way back. There's no way back. And how many of you have moved from some place to another town or city? Raise your hand. Oh, whoa, okay. And I wonder how many in virtual land have. Well, you know probably then that in that move, even though you left friends behind and they may still be wonderful friends, when you return to visit them, you are not in your homeland any longer. You truly are a visitor, and it changes the dynamic with everything. So this also explains why a lot of us are terrified of thresholds, because we understand at some level that there's no going back. There's a time and a place when once we've made that move, that's it. We're committed. And so I have a story about that, and this is a story I have never told. So this is pretty special for me. I hope it'll be special for you. And of course, on Halloween, it's a weird story involving a relic. Do you know what a relic is? Yes, most of you do. If you don't feel bad, because I didn't for a long time. But relics are the bones of saints, and they're taken from the saint's corpse, and they are said to have magical powers. And so when I was traveling in Italy with my daughter, we would enter these places where they had relics in these beautiful different containers. And the first time we met a relic, my daughter, who was not terribly old, was horrified. It happened to be Saint Teresa's of Siena's finger on a spike, and so it was kind of horrifying. So relics. Anyway, I could go on and on about that, but here's the story, and it's a really old one. It's a story about a group of pilgrims searching for the Holy Land. They wander for days to the bank of a very wide river. It was too deep to cross, and there was nothing to build with. One of the pilgrims prayed for guidance, and a voice appeared, urging each to give up something they held dear. From this they would build a raft, for only that which they held dear would be strong enough to hold them up as they crossed into the Holy Land. There was immediate conflict and suspicion. The one who heard the voice was accused of trying to steal what mattered most to everyone else. But finally, 4 of the stranded pilgrims agreed. Each offered what seemed useless to the others: a stone, a feather, a piece of driftwood, a page from a book no one understood. Mysteriously, as they slept, the dearness they had placed in these things flowed together, and they woke to find a magnificent raft. Once on the other side, the one who gave up the feather heard another voice. It said that the Holy Land was right where they had landed. The 4 pilgrims settled on the far bank within view of the others who would not cross. That night they burned the raft to cook their food, and the voices told them that the Holy Land is wherever what you hold dear holds you up and then returns to you as food. That's the story. Isn't that weird? It's a really cool story. So, as I was thinking about the story, I was thinking about what it takes when we're on a threshold. And it seems like the distance between where we are and where we're trying to go is too far. It's too wide. We can't find a way in our mind to figure out how to cross over. We don't have the tools. We don't have what we perceive to be the necessary implements to get us either spiritually, emotionally, mentally, or physically from here to there. You know what I mean? It's like when you're looking at your garage that you've been storing stuff in for 30 years and now you're supposed to downsize. It seems impossible, doesn't it? And all those things in there pretty much are dear, right? Or you're aware that you're being called spiritually to do things that will mean that you are carried someplace that you don't even exactly understand. And to do that, it means you have to give up your morning coffee until an hour after you've meditated. I've had that one. So there's places where we're called, small places and big places, to cross a threshold, and really it requires some giving up, giving away, letting go, in order for us to become what is required on the other side. And so part of the story is about that, and part of it is really noting that what we hold dear, we've imbued with energy. And it doesn't matter whether it's a stone or a feather or a piece of driftwood or a page from a book we don't even understand. It doesn't matter. For us, that item, that thing, has become sacred. Anytime we go and have a women's retreat or a meditation retreat where we're setting up an altar, it's always endearing to me that most of the time what people bring for the altar is a rock. Really? How many of you have sacred rocks? Yeah. I mean, we love the earth and we love what it gives to us, and we pick up these mementos from Mother Earth and hold them dear. And then when we're asked to bring something sacred to put on an altar, that's the first thing that comes to us, is my rock, this rock. So, because these things become dear to us and we imbue them with that love and that energy, crossing over means that we need to take what is dear and not necessarily give it away, but give it up so that it can become something that carries us forward. So the story that I was telling you comes from Mark Nepo. And as many of you know, Mark Nepo, who's a poet and an author, had a very virulent kind of cancer that he almost died from. And in his terrible, terrible sickness, both from the cancer and the chemotherapy, a friend brought him a relic from a holy person. He doesn't say who it was. And, Mark is very ill. And so he takes this relic that clearly his friend is like having trouble letting go of because it's so dear to him. And he carries it with him everywhere. And when he gets well, because he does get well, he carries it as a sacred item around until that very friend becomes seriously ill and wants it back. And you know how it is. It's like, oh, okay. Here. Thank you. But what Mark reported was once he was able to let go of this thing that he'd been carrying for years as a symbol of his healing and gift it to someone else, all of a sudden the ground between the two people was holy. And there was a shared experience of the sacred, really. Not just like a thought, but actually a feeling and an experience. And I brought that story to you today because for me, part of walking in the liminal, limbo that we sometimes have to walk in, is about finding ground. You know what liminal is. It's like if you go down to the ocean and where the sand meets the waves, there's a place where it's neither water nor land. And that's what's known as the liminal space. And so when we are preparing spiritually to move into a new expression, we hit this place that is liminal, where we're neither what we were and we're not yet what we're going to be. And it's a very slushy place spiritually. It's a place that fear can really come forward. And so one of the tools for grounding in that time is to take what is dear and gift it into the world, to actually let it go and gift it to someone or to an organization, so that the energy will help us find solidity in this sort of transitional, watery, sandy place that we walk. of course, the ultimate place where that happens is our dying. And we have many little deaths along the way preparing us for that. So it's really good to practice the liminal limbo in those smaller places of transition and change. So you have these dear things that you can now know that they will help you, they'll assist you in this place. And there's one other thing I've learned in the liminal places that we find ourselves in when we're spiritually walking a path, and that is, I've learned from Lao Tzu, who was a tremendous, a tremendous sage, and there's one passage in the Tao Te Ching that has always spoken to me, and so I wanted to read you just the last part of the passage, and then I'll do a prayer in case any of you are on a threshold. So this is just part of this this chapter from the Tao. Do you have the patience to wait? Do you have the patience to wait until your mud settles and the water is clear? Can you remain unmoving until the right action arises of itself? Let me read it one more time. Do you have the patience to wait until your mud settles and the water is clear? Can you remain unmoving until the right action arises of itself? And the reason I think that also is sort of a guide to the liminal space, where we're not quite there, but we're not quite here, is because in that place, things often are cloudy. Our fear kind of kicks up all these thoughts of like, maybe I'm making the wrong decision, maybe I should just try to go back, maybe I, and fear is like the great stirring stick in the liminal space, so that pretty soon you can't even tell where to put your foot to walk forward. So one of the spiritual tools, spiritual ways of being, is to, in those moments, settle, become very still, allow everything to just stop, and wait. And that sounds so easy, doesn't it? But I don't know about you, but I'm one of those people that, bam, I want to go, and the fear comes up and I'm like, I don't know how to go. So letting ourselves wait is a real skill for some of us. Maybe not you, but me for sure. So that I can become clear. And then I can move forward into that sort of sloppy, unclear place and keep moving step by step into what is the next chapter, the next way. So let me do a prayer, and think about where you might be in a liminal space. Maybe it's in a relationship. Maybe it's with your own self. And maybe it's really like a life-changing thing that's happening. So join me in this prayer, and if this prayer speaks to you, just say yes, and it will be activated for you. I know that within, around, and through all things, the divine is flowing. That there is no place that is not sacred. And so within me now and within you, the divine is operating. And it is an intelligence and a love beyond all measure. As it moves in us, it has but one agenda, and that is to evolve us, and by means of our lives, evolve its own beingness. We are literally the messengers and the vehicle for the divine expressing itself. And as I remember this, I then understand that as I stand at the gateway of this new transition, this place that is calling me forward, the voice that is calling resides within. And it is the call of my truest nature, urging me forward on the path. And because I'm remembering this, I remember too that I can trust this, that this is not some sort of egoic mind seeking just change for change's sake, but a deeper evolving principle of love that is carrying me, calling me into a greater expression. And so I trust, I hold what is dear to me, offering it to the world, and I step forward, courageously, and even sometimes fearlessly, moving with the sacred call and stepping into what is mine to become. I am grateful for the becoming, and so it is. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Our cute flamingo ushers are going to be coming forward, and if you would like to give a gift to the center, please throw that money in that basket. And to those of you who do that on a routine basis and don't bring it to Sunday mornings, thank you. Thank you for every donation. It really is very, very much appreciated.
Joy, I still got joy. Joy, I still got joy. Joy, I still got joy. After all I've been through, I still got joy. Faith, I still got faith. Faith, I still got faith. Faith, I still got faith. After all I've been through, I still got faith. And love, I still got love. I still got love. I still got love. After all I've been through, I still got love. Peace, I still got peace. I still got peace. Peace, I still got peace. After all I've been through, I still got peace. Sing it out. Joy, I still got joy. I still got joy. Joy, I still got joy. After all I've been through, I still got joy. After all I've been through, I've still got joy.
Well, let me tell you a little bit about what's happening today and in the near future. For those of you who are joining us virtually, you can't see it from where you're looking, but over in the sanctuary, over on this side of the room, is a beautiful hanging of different colored cloths. And on each one of those cloths is a blessing for the earth, or a commitment to action in some way to assist, to bring the earth into a regenerated expression. And so today is the last day that the net of interconnection is going to be with us. And so we would like to invite you, if you haven't already filled out one of those strips, to mosey over if you're in our audience here and fill out one of the strips, and some lovely folks back there will be nodding it on. And then the net goes to the next congregation as a way of connecting all of the spiritual communities in our area in our combined desire for blessing the earth and also lifting it into a different expression. If you're joining us virtually, we want you to know that you too can have a strip filled out for you by going to the CSL Bellingham website and looking for the email that has to do with the net of interconnection. And as you go there, you'll find it. You put down a few words that you would like on your strip. We'll take your email and we will transfer it into one of the beautiful cloths and tie it on for you. So feel free, even if you're not here locally, to participate in the net. And this email way of doing it is going to stay on for all of the spiritual communities that the net is traveling to. So we have a really lovely opportunity to connect us all through that as well. You may be aware that there's a significant conference going on, the Climate Change Conference that's being held in Glasgow, which begins next Sunday. And so we're also, if you, like me, are wanting our world leaders to know how deeply committed we are to supporting change so that the earth can be regenerated, join me in blessing and praying for that conference so that they feel a tremendous amount of support from all of us so that they make decisions that will assist. A couple of other things you may notice up here, we have these beautiful altars, and these are altars set up to honor those of our loved ones who have passed away. And so we have some altars that are dedicated to our beloved furry friends and animal friends. Some of us have horses. I don't know if horses have fur, but some are represented here, as well as our ancestral lineage, those who we have loved and have passed. So we're inviting you to think about bringing pictures or mementos of the people and the animals that you love to place on the altar as well. So what we're going to be doing through this week is receiving those pictures and mementos. And next Sunday, if you can join us, we have a very special ceremony. The Threshold singers who are present with people who are dying and sing to them are coming here to sing to our dead and to support us in ceremony as we bless those that have passed, honor them, and release them. So we'd love you to be a part of this very simple but very beautiful recognition of who supports us and has sustained us as sacred humans. The marigolds are a tradition from the Day of the Dead, Dia de los Muertos. And so thank you to those of you who grew marigolds and brought them. It's not always that easy up here in the Pacific Northwest to have marigolds last as long as they have. So good on you. And thank you to Heidi and Kathia and Dan, and I don't know who else, for helping set up the altars. Very beautiful. We also, next Sunday, in addition to the releasing ceremony, the honoring ceremony, later in that day, we're having a Zoom opportunity for all of us. And it's known as a death cafe. And probably you've heard of it, but in case this is a new term for you, in England long ago, decades now, there was a person that really wanted to talk about death, and it's not exactly something that everybody's up for. So the person went to a local cafe, ordered tea and cake, and invited anyone who wanted to talk about death to come and be a part of a death cafe experience. And that was so popular that it grew and grew and grew, and now death cafes are all over the world, and we're hosting one. And you're invited to be a part of it on Zoom. And death cafes are deliberately not particularly structured. There's room for breakout rooms for different people to speak about different aspects of dying and death that they have curiosity about or want to talk about. So we invite you to come and be a part of that. If you would like the Zoom link, you just go to our website, and there's a place in the calendar where you'll find that link. And you can join us from 5 to 6:30 p.m. next Sunday, and that's going to be great. Also, I am friends with a man who is a member of a Center for Spiritual Living in Santa Rosa. And he had a dream of changing his life and doing what he always wanted to do, which was to take people traveling to sacred sites. And so he started a company called Spirit Tours. He really only has people from Centers for Spiritual Living and the like come on these tours, and he goes to these different sacred sites. So before COVID, we took a group to Ireland, and we are taking another group to Ireland in 2023. But in 2022, we are going to find out if any of you are interested in going to Portugal and to visit sacred sites in Portugal and possibly stay over and walk the Camino or part of it. It is not an inexpensive way to go. So there are ways to go to Portugal where you can just, go stay at a hostel, do that. But my friend likes 4-star boutique hotels. And he likes small groups, so there's only 16 people. And he likes to support the minister in going for free, except for airfare and meals. So all that makes this trip a little expensive, but we're having an interest Zoom meeting on the 21st of November, and my friend Jim is going to be on that Zoom call, and he'll talk about, this is his newest endeavor, so we'll be the first group going to Portugal. And even if you're not sure you could even afford it, if you would like to hear more about it, just because, please feel free to come, and the Zoom link is also on our website, I think. It might be that you have to register. Let me read this. You do. You have to email the center because Jim would like to know your name. So feel free to come to that. We'd love you to be a part of it. We have a lot of things going on a weekly basis that if you haven't availed yourself of and you're in a transitional time, you may want to take advantage of. So there are morning prayers at 7 a.m. via Zoom. There are evening gratitudes via Zoom. And these are both Monday through Friday. The Zoom morning call is at 7, and the gratitudes in the evening are at 8:45. And we'd love you to be a part of those. We also have a monthly prayer for the earth, meditation for the earth, really, that you can get involved in on the 4th Sunday of every month. My flamingo ushers were part of the decorating team that has set up, for those of you who purchased Harvest Dinner Lunch. And if you don't know what that is, we for years have been doing harvest dinners, but because of COVID, we have altered how we do those things. And so people signed up ahead of time to receive a lunch. So if you didn't know about it, I'm sorry, you missed the boat. But if you're here and you purchased one of those lunches, from what I understand from my decorating team, you need to go outside and they will direct you how to proceed. They have decorated and set up certain ways. If you glance out the window over here, you will see a remarkable array of costumed flamingos. And for those of us who have been here, you know that the flamingos were, during the shutdown, were a way that we let people know that we were still thinking of them. This decorating team would sneak out in the dark, which was at 6 o'clock, and they would set up the flamingos in someone's yard, sneak away, and then hope to catch a photo of them when they saw for the first time 50 flamingos on their lawn. And so the flamingos have become our mascot here at CSL. And so they're here today just to cheer your heart and invite those who are having lunch to laugh. You can laugh with them too. Right now, I'm going to invite you to stand and we'll sing our way out of here. Happy Halloween, everyone.
Blessed day, I am thankful, grateful heart, I am whole. Glory be to the power of this mind that I know. So full praise to the wonder, freedom, sing a joyful song, calling love to the center, lifting all is the one. I sing it now, so it is anything I dream. It is singing now, so it is. Think bigger now, so it is. I'm holding this vision of peace, knowing a world of harmony, calling love to the center, lifting all. We are blessed day, blessed day. I am thankful, grateful heart, I am whole. Glory be to the power of this mind that I know. So full praise to the wonder, freedom, sing a joyful song, calling love to the center, lifting all is the one. I sing it now, so it is anything I dream. you all for being here, and we'll see you again